Evan almost deleted the message without opening it. The account had no name, no profile picture, and no message, just a link. He probably would have ignored it completely if he hadn't recognized the woman in the thumbnail. Maya. She was sitting at her old desk, wearing the bright pink headphones she used in every stream. With one hand wrapped around the cheap microphone she'd refused to replace for years. Evan stared at the screen. Maya had been dead for 6 months. He'd watched her stream for years. She'd never been huge. On a good night, maybe a couple hundred people would show up. But Maya remembered people. She remembered old jokes. She remembered which games her regulars liked. And whenever Evan appeared in chat, she usually greeted him the same way. "Hey, Ev, you survived another day." Her death had been sudden. At least, that was all her family ever said. Afterward, people kept talking about her final live stream. Maya had streamed the night before she died, and a few viewers claimed something strange had happened near the end. Nobody could prove it. Before anyone managed to save the recording, the stream disappeared. Then Maya's entire channel was deleted. No archives, no clips, nothing. And now, Evan was staring at a video titled, "Maya, Final Stream." He clicked it. The recording opened with Maya laughing. "Okay, if this game is terrible, I'm blaming all of you." Evan smiled before he could stop himself. For the next half hour, nothing unusual happened. Maya played some cheap horror game. She complained about the controls. She screamed when something jumped out of a closet, then laughed so hard she had to take off her headphones. It was exactly how Evan remembered her. Then Maya stopped playing. Her character stood motionless on the screen. Maya glanced toward her second monitor. Then she slowly turned towards the camera and stared directly into the lens. At first, Evan assumed she was reading chat, but she wasn't looking where the chat would have been. She was looking straight into the camera. 10 seconds, then 20. Something in Maya's expression changed. It wasn't fear. Not yet. It was more like she'd noticed something she couldn't quite understand. Finally, Maya whispered one word. "Sorry." Then she looked away and continued playing. Evan frowned. He didn't remember that. He dragged the video back and watched the moment again. Maya stopped playing. She looked at the second monitor. Then at the camera. The same long stare. And once again, Maya quietly said, "Sorry." Exactly the same. Evan watched another few minutes before closing the video. It was probably nothing. Maybe he'd never actually seen that particular stream. Maybe 6 months had changed the way he remembered it. He went to bed. The next night, Evan opened the link again. He told himself he only wanted to hear Maya's voice. Really, he wanted to see the strange moment again. He skipped ahead. Maya stopped playing. She looked toward her second monitor. Then she turned toward the camera. Only this time, the silence lasted longer. Maya narrowed her eyes. Then she whispered, "You came back." Evan froze. Maya kept staring into the camera. A few seconds later, she quietly added, "Sorry." Then the stream continued as if nothing had happened. Evan replayed it one more time. Same thing. He sat back from the laptop. She hadn't said that the night before. He was certain. So he closed the video. Then, Almost immediately, he opened it again. He skipped to the same moment. Maya turned toward the camera, but this time she smiled. It was a small, nervous smile. "I thought you might," she said. Evan slammed the laptop shut. Someone was messing with him. That had to be it. Maybe the link was loading different versions of the file. Maybe somebody knew Evan had been one of Maya's regular viewers. It was creepy, but it wasn't impossible. At least, that's what Evan kept telling himself. He stayed away for 2 days. On the third night, curiosity won. Evan opened the link and skipped ahead. Maya was already looking into the camera. She looked different this time. Tired. There were dark circles beneath her eyes. Before Evan could do anything, Maya asked, "Why'd you stop?" His hand slipped from the mouse. Maya waited. Evan stared at her for several seconds. Then, feeling ridiculous, even as he did it, he whispered her name. "Maya?" Her eyes widened. She glanced behind herself, then turned back toward the camera. Evan tried again. "Maya?" Maya leaned closer to the microphone. "Can you hear me?" Evan stopped breathing. There had been no delay, no pre-recorded pause. She had answered him. He pushed his chair back. Maya's eyes dropped, following him. Evan stood. Her gaze lifted. He stepped to the side, and Maya turned her head. She was watching him move around his bedroom. Evan whispered, "No." Maya flinched at the sound of his voice. Then she pressed one finger to her lips. "Don't talk so loud," she whispered. Evan went completely still. He said her name again, barely above a whisper. "Maya." She closed her eyes for a moment. When she opened them again, she looked terrified. "Can you hear me?" Maya said. Evan stared at the screen. "Maya, what is this?" Maya shook her head. "I don't know." Evan hesitated before saying the thing neither of them wanted to acknowledge. "Maya, you're dead." She looked down at the desk. "I know," she said quietly. The answer caught him completely off guard. "What do you mean you know?" Maya took a moment before answering. "I remember ending my stream. I remember saying goodnight. I remember turning everything off." Then she stopped. Evan waited a few seconds before asking, "And after that?" Maya slowly raised her eyes towards him. "Then I saw you." Evan frowned. "When?" "The first time you opened the video," Maya answered. "But Maya, that was 6 months after you died." She went quiet. Evan tried to make sense of what she was telling him. "What happened to you during those 6 months?" Maya's expression changed. Not confusion, fear. "There weren't 6 months," she said. Evan shook his head. "I don't understand." Maya glanced around her room. "I remember saying goodnight. I remember turning everything off." She looked back towards the camera. "And then suddenly I was sitting here again." Her voice softened. "And you were watching me." A chill moved through Evan. "So you've been sitting there this whole time?" "No," Maya said immediately. Evan frowned. "Then what happens when I close the video?" Maya looked down at her hands. "I don't know." Evan leaned closer. "You don't remember?" Maya shook her head. "No, there's just nothing." Evan didn't know what to say. After a moment, Maya continued. Then you come back. She looked toward the camera. And I'm here again. For several seconds, neither of them spoke. Then Maya's eyes shifted past Evan. Her expression changed. He noticed immediately. What is it? Maya didn't answer. Evan tried again. Maya? There's something different, she said. Evan glanced behind himself. Different? Where? Maya slowly turned toward the hallway behind her. In the apartment. She stood and walked toward the dark doorway. At first, everything looked normal. Her desk, the shelves, the hallway. Then Maya pointed into the darkness. That lamp. A small lamp stood on a table beyond her bedroom door. It had a square shade and a black base. Evan turned around. The exact lamp was sitting on a table behind him, in his bedroom. He looked back at the screen. Maya, that's mine. She turned toward the camera. What? The lamp. That's my lamp. It's sitting right behind me. Maya slowly looked back toward her hallway. Her voice sharpened. Evan, close it. He stared at her. What just happened? Maya shook her head. I don't know. Just close it. This time he did. By lunchtime the next day, Evan had almost convinced himself it was some elaborate trick. By that evening, he was opening the link again. Maya was already standing. The moment she saw him, she said his name. Evan? I'm here, he answered. For a second, Maya looked relieved. Then the fear returned. You shouldn't be here. Evan leaned closer to the screen. What's wrong? Something changed again, Maya said. He studied the room behind her. At first, he couldn't see anything unusual. Then he noticed the door. Behind Maya was a closed white bedroom door. That door had never been there before. Her apartment hallway should have been behind her. Instead, there was a white door with a silver handle. Evan slowly turned toward his own bedroom door. White. Silver handle. And near the bottom, a small scratch where he'd hit it with a chair months earlier. The exact same scratch was visible behind Maya. Evan looked back at the screen. Maya, that's my door. I know, she said quietly. She took one careful step toward it. Evan immediately stopped her. Don't open it. Maya stopped. I wasn't going to. Something knocked from the other side. Once. Maya jumped backward. Evan stared at his real bedroom door. It remained silent. Then two more knocks came through the stream. Knock. Knock. Maya backed toward her desk. Close it, she said. Evan reached for the laptop. Before he could touch it, something fell behind him. A pen rolled off of his desk and hit the floor. Maya spun toward the sound. Not toward anything in her own room. Toward the exact place the pen had fallen in Evan's. Her face went pale. I heard that, Maya whispered. Evan looked at the pen, then back at Maya. You heard that? From my room? I think so, she said. Maya slowly looked around her own apartment. She listened for another second. Then she whispered, Evan, I can hear your room. He closed the video. Evan stayed away for almost a week. Nothing happened. No messages, no strange sounds, no videos. He almost started to feel normal again. But he couldn't stop thinking about Maya. If it really was her, then every time he closed the video, she disappeared into the nothing she'd described. And every time he came back, more of his world appeared in hers. Evan knew opening the link again was a terrible idea. he did it anyway. Maya appeared at her desk. She looked worse. Her hair was tangled and her face was pale. Behind her, Evan could see part of his bedroom. The white door was still there. But now, so was his dresser. And one corner of his bed. Pieces of Maya's apartment were disappearing. Pieces of Evan's room were replacing them. Maya saw the look on his face. "It's worse," she said. Evan barely managed to answer. "How much worse?" Maya turned and looked around. "Every time you come back, there's more." Evan looked at the laptop camera. Then an idea occurred to him. "Maya, can you see me if I cover the camera?" "I don't know," she answered. He reached forward and covered the lens with his hand. Maya continued looking straight at him. Her expression didn't change. That doesn't matter," she said. Evan slowly uncovered the camera. "Then how are you seeing me?" Evan asked. Maya didn't answer. She was staring over her shoulder again. Evan felt the hair raise along his arms. "What do you see?" Maya's voice dropped. "Don't turn around." His chest tightened. "Maya, just don't." A soft click came from behind him. His lamp switched off. The only light left in Evan's bedroom came from the laptop screen. Maya's terrified face filled it. Evan whispered, "The lamp just went out." Something scraped across the floor behind him. Evan wanted to turn around. Every instinct screamed at him to look. Maya shook her head. "Please don't." Another scrape. Closer this time. Evan could barely get the words out. "Maya, what's behind me?" She was crying now. I can't see it," Maya said. "But you can see my room," Evan whispered. Maya nodded. "Most of it." She stared at something behind him. "There's one part I can't see." Evan's mouth went dry. "Where?" Maya whispered. "Right behind you." Then Evan heard something breathe. Not through the laptop, inside his bedroom. Evan slammed the laptop shut. The room went completely dark. The breathing stopped. He sat there for several minutes before he finally turned around. Nothing was there. That was the last time. At least, that's what Evan told himself. He deleted the message, blocked the account, cleared his browser history. Then he packed the laptop into a box and shoved it into the back of his closet. 6 nights later, Evan woke at 2:16 in the morning. His bedroom was dark. At first, he didn't know what had awakened him. Then he saw the light beneath the closet door. Evan sat up. The laptop was inside the closet, and somehow its screen was on. A woman's voice came faintly through the door. "Evan? Evan?" Every part of him told him not to open the closet. He opened it anyway. The laptop was sitting inside the box, open, playing the stream. Maya stood in the middle of her room, except almost none of her room remained. Her desk was still there, her chair, her microphone. Everything else belonged to Evan. His bed, his dresser, his walls, his door. It looked as though Maya's streaming setup had been dropped directly into Evan's bedroom. Maya looked at him. "I didn't do this." Evan pulled the laptop from the box. "I didn't open the video." "I know," Maya said. Those 2 words frightened him more than anything else she'd said. Evan stared at her. "What do you mean?" "I was already here," she said. Evan's stomach tightened as he asked. For how long?" Maya shook her head. I don't know. She looked around the room behind her before she stated, this time, there was something here before you came back. Evan felt his skin go cold. You told me there was nothing when I wasn't watching. There was, Maya said. Her voice trembled. But not anymore, she added. Something moved behind her. A shadow crossed the wall inside the stream. Evan instinctively looked toward the same wall in his real bedroom. Nothing moved. He looked back at Maya. What was that? She had gone completely still. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely audible. I think it learned how to stay. The stream flickered. For half a second, Maya disappeared. Instead, Evan saw his own bedroom. Not Maya's version of it, his actual bedroom. And he was seeing it from somewhere behind his chair. Then Maya returned. Evan stepped backward. The stream flickered again. His bedroom. The same angle. Only this time, Evan could see himself standing in front of the laptop. From behind. He whispered Maya's name. Maya? She answered immediately. I know. The picture flickered again. This time, Maya's room disappeared completely. Now the live stream showed only Evan's bedroom. Evan could see himself standing in the middle of the screen. But something was wrong. The Evan in the video wasn't moving when he moved. The real Evan slowly raised one arm. The figure on the screen waited. 1 second. Then it raised its hand too. Evan lowered his. The other Evan didn't. Its hand stayed raised. Evan called out, Maya? Her voice came through the speakers. I'm here. He couldn't see her anywhere. Where are you? I don't know, Maya answered. Then the Evan on the screen began to turn around. The real Evan didn't move. The copy slowly faced the camera. It had Evan's face. And then it smiled. Evan stepped backward. The thing wearing his face stayed perfectly still. Maya whispered through the speakers, Don't react. Evan's voice shook. What? I think it knows when you notice it, Maya said. The copy tilted its head. Evan forced himself not to move. Then Maya said his name. Evan? What is it? I can see your whole room now. She paused. Except one place. Evan already knew what she meant. He whispered, Behind me. Maya didn't answer. Something shifted in the darkness at Evan's back. On the screen, the thing wearing his face smiled wider. Evan reached for the laptop. The false Evan suddenly lunged toward the camera. Evan slammed the lid shut. Silence. He grabbed his phone and ran. Evan never went back to the apartment alone. The next morning, his friend Noah went with him to collect a few things. They found the laptop lying on the floor. Closed. Unplugged. Evan refused to touch it. Noah picked it up. The video was gone, and so were the messages. There was no browser history showing the stream had ever existed. No downloaded file, nothing. Evan made Noah help him destroy the laptop. They smashed it and threw the pieces away. Then Evan moved. New apartment, new phone, new email address. For almost a month, nothing happened. Then Noah received a message. It came from Evan's old account. No text, just a video. Noah called him immediately. Evan, did you send me something? The moment Evan heard the question, his stomach tightened. No? Why? There's a video, Noah said. Evan went silent. Then he asked, What does the thumbnail look like? Noah stared at it for a moment. You're sitting at your desk. Evan's voice changed immediately. Don't open it, Evan insisted. Noah hesitated, then his tone changed. There's someone behind you. Evan closed his eyes and asked, Is it a girl with pink headphones? No, Noah said. Evan opened his eyes. What does it look like? He asked. Noah didn't answer. Evan said his name. Noah? Finally, Noah whispered, It looks like you. The call went quiet. A few seconds later, Noah muttered, What the hell? Evan almost shouted into the phone. Delete it. Do not open that video. I didn't, Noah said. Then he went silent. A few seconds later, he whispered, It started by itself. Through Noah's phone, Evan heard a woman's voice. Very faint, very far away, very recognizable as Maya. Evan called Noah's name. Noah? Then Maya screamed through the phone. Close it. The call ended. Evan tried calling back. No answer. Police found Noah's apartment unlocked the next morning. His phone was lying on the floor. The television was still on. Noah was gone. They never found him. Evan disappeared 3 days later. His apartment door was locked from the inside. There were no signs anyone had entered. His phone was sitting beside the bed. On the screen was one notification, an account with no name, no profile picture, no message, just a video. The thumbnail showed Evan and Noah sitting side by side in a dark room. Behind them stood Maya. Behind Maya was someone else. Someone else had no face. The video was titled Final Stream. No one knows who uploaded it. The account disappears whenever anyone tries to report it. And according to the people who claim they've seen the video, it never plays the same way twice. The first time, it looks like an old live stream. If you watch it again, the person in the video starts noticing you. After that, things from your room begin appearing behind them. A lamp, a door, your bed, your walls, until eventually there isn't any difference between their room and yours. So, if someone ever sends you a live stream from a person that you know is dead, delete it. And whatever you do, don't watch it twice. Because the first time, you're watching them. The second time, something is learning how to watch you back.